everybody, and welcome to Storytime. Storytime starts with one of my favorite letters, the letter S. Can you make an S sound with me? S. Let's learn the sign for S in American Sign Language. First, make a fist and put your thumb in front of your fist. Easy, that's the letter S. I have a friend with me today, and her name also starts with the letter S. Can you think of an animal whose name starts with S? This is our friend, the sloth. Simone, can you say hello to our friends? That is a very slow wave, Simone. Are sloths fast or are they slow? I would say pretty slow. I wonder, do sloths like to stay awake or do they like to sleep? What do you think, Simone? Zzz. I would say that they like to sleep. Wake up, Simone! All right, we'll let Simone take a little nap during story time. Let's get started. Our first book today is about our friend the sloth. This book is called The Perfect Siesta. Siesta starts with an S. Can you say it with me? Siesta. What does siesta mean? Siesta is a Spanish word for nap. And hey, we know that sloths like to take naps, huh? The Perfect Siesta is by Pato Mena. It was the middle of the day in the jungle, and the jaguar was very hot. All of a sudden, a cool breeze started to blow, and the big cat thought, "Roar! What a nice breeze! It would be perfect to take a siesta." Just then, the jaguar saw a coati sitting on a branch up in a tree, and he said, "Hey, could you do me a big favor? I have something really important to do, but first, I would like to take a little siesta. There's such a nice cool breeze, it's just too good to resist. Could you wake me up in exactly 10 minutes? Of course, Mr. Jaguar, answered the scared coati. You go right ahead and take your nice siesta. I'll wake you up. And just like that, the jaguar dropped off into a deep sleep. I see some Z's above the jaguar's head. I think that means he's snoring. Could you show me what you think a jaguar's snore would sound like? But then the coati thought, it's true. It would be a shame not to take advantage of this pleasant breeze. So the coati said to a cockatiel who was perched just a few branches above, "Hey, could you do me a favor? I have to wake the jaguar up in 10 minutes because he has something very, very important to do. But first, I want to take a little siesta. There is such a nice cool breeze, it's just too good to resist. Would you mind waking me up in exactly 10 minutes? Of course, said the kind cockatiel. Go ahead and take your siesta. I'll wake you up. And just like that, the coati dropped off into a deep sleep. I see some snoring. What does a coati's snore sound like? Then the cockatiel thought, there's no denying it. That really is a pleasant breeze. So he said to the only animal that was close by, "Hey, you there, sloth, I have to wake up the coati, who has to wake up the jaguar, who has something very, very important to do. But first, I would like to take a siesta. There is such a nice cool breeze, it's just too good to resist. Would you be so kind as to wake me up in exactly 10 minutes? Really? Why? Sure, of course. What replied the sleepy sloth. Wake me up in exactly 10 minutes, repeated the cockatiel. It's very important. You have to stay awake. Sure. 10 minutes, no worries, said the sloth with a big yawn. Thank you so much, said the cockatiel, who dropped off into a deep sleep. Just then, the sloth felt the cool breeze and realized that she should ask some other animal to wake her up in 10 minutes, but there was no one awake to ask. This was such torture for the poor sloth, but she had given her word to the cockatiel, who had promised the coati, who had promised the jaguar, who no one was particularly thrilled to see angry. I have got to stay awake, she said to herself. 1, 2, 3 minutes went by. The sloth was battling sleep more than any other sloth in sloth history. 4, 5, 6 more minutes went by. She could almost hear the breeze whisper, sleep. 7, 8, 9 more minutes went by. Her eyelids got heavier and heavier. And just when there was only 1 more minute left before she had to wake the cockatiel up, zzz, the sloth fell fast asleep. Then all of a sudden, the nice cool breeze that was blowing through the jungle turned into a huge... Can you snore with our sloth? The tremendously loud snore of the sloth woke up the cockatiel, the coati, and the jaguar, bang, right on the 10th minute. The startled animals each ran off in different directions without stopping to offer any explanations. Meanwhile, the sloth stayed right where she was, snoring away, not letting anyone else in the jungle sleep for a very long time. The end. I love that sleepy sloth. Our next book is about someone else with a name that starts with an S. Swimmy. This book is by Leo Leone. A happy school of little fish lived in a corner of the sea somewhere. They were all red. Only one of them was as black as a mussel shell. He swam faster than his brothers and sisters. His name was Swimmy. One bad day, a tuna fish, swift, fierce, and very hungry, came darting through the waves. In one gulp, he swallowed all the little red fish. Only Swimmy escaped. He swam away in the deep, wet world. He was scared, lonely, and very sad. But the sea was full of wonderful creatures, and as he swam from marvel to marvel, Swimmy was happy again. He saw a Medusa made of rainbow jelly, a lobster who walked about like a water-moving machine, strange fish pulled by an invisible thread, a forest of seaweeds growing from sugar candy rocks, and an eel whose tail was almost too far away to remember, and sea anemones who looked like pink palm trees swaying in the wind. Then, hidden in the dark shade of rocks and weeds, he saw a school of little fish, just like his own. Let's go and swim and play and see things, he said happily. We can't, said the little red fish. The big fish will eat us all. But you can't just lie there, said Swimmy. We must think of something. Swimmy thought and thought and thought. Then suddenly he said, I have it! We are going to swim all together like the biggest fish in the sea. He taught them to swim close together, each in his own place. And when they had learned to swim like one giant fish, he said, I'll be the eye. And so they swam in the cool morning water and in the midday sun and chased the big fish away. The end. I love how all those fish worked together with Swimmy so that they could go and have fun and see the marvels of the sea. My friends, it might not feel like it because of the weather outside, but we have just entered a brand new season, and it starts with an S. It's spring. I just love spring. We get to see so many flowers. This book is all about the colorful flowers that we get to see. Have You Ever Seen a Flower? Is by Sean Harris. Have you ever seen a flower? I mean, really seen a flower? I mean, way down in the clover with your face down in a flower? Have you ever seen a flower using nothing but your nose? Breathe deep. What do you see? Raindrops made of honey, the knees of bumblebees, a fancy lady, dancing babies at the Royal Jelly Jubilee. Have you ever seen a flower so deep you had to shout, hello, and listen for an echo just to know how deep it goes? And did you wonder if you wandered down between its golden columns and into its corridors, who you might meet? Maybe a tiny queen? Have you ever felt a flower? Do a flower petal's veins feel like the veins beneath your skin? Have you ever pricked your finger or fallen on your knee and seen the brilliant color of your life? Life is inside you. Life is all around you. Now put your hands on your belly and say, this is my stem. Now sip a drip of water and stand very still. Feel it slip and trickle all the way down to your roots. Do you feel yourself growing? Do you feel yourself stretching toward the sun, ready to burst and bloom? Have you ever been a flower? I mean, really been a flower? And if you were, would you remember? Try and see. The end. Even though it's rainy outside, I'm so excited to see all the beautiful flowers that spring will bring us this year. All right, my friends, our sloth woke up just in time for the end of story time. Simone, do you have anything to say to our friends watching Storytime today? Good night, Simone, and goodbye.